Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. And this week on the old Magic Roundabout, we've got the Corgi Toys Volkswagen 1200 Safari. So I've got two on a turntable because I'm trying to make one good one out of both. So as you watch this go round, I'd just like to welcome any new friends to the channel. Thanks very much for joining. It's really appreciated. And welcome back all the old friends of the channel. Thanks very much for staying around. It's really appreciated. Look forward to your comments at the end of the video. As usual, I'll try and get back to you by the Sunday or just after, depending how much busy I am. So let's get these off to Magic, get them on a bench and have a good look at them. Let's have a look, shall we? See what we got. This was the original one I bought. Oh, this camera needs to be gone up a little bit. Yeah, this is the original one I bought. As you can see in the bottom. Corgi Toys, Volkswagen 1200 Saloon. And it had got a missing wheel. So, I've got the police version of this with a turn-in wheel, but I didn't want to destroy that just for a wheel, so waited and waited, and lo and behold, this turned up on eBay. No boot and bonnet, no dual headlights, no tyre on the top, but it got both wheels. So we're going to rob the wheel off this one, and then we'll sit the rest for spares. It's got a good window unit, that'll come in handy for another one. So yeah, happy days. Now what we got, 3 rivets. We have the 3 rivets, or posts, which was actually what they are. 1, 2 and 3. They've got a little pinhole in there. These are going to be small. I'm not sure what they're going to be like when we get them out, whether we can screw them or glue them or rivet them. We'll have to have a look. Right, that works obviously. Same as a driving school car and the police version of this. Standard stuff. Alright, it's got the bumpers complete. This is what we're going to be working on. It's got the bumpers complete with the little bars across the top there. Got both headlights. Same at the back there, both exhausts. I've got decals for this, and as you see, I've got the rhino for it. This tyre's a bit chewed up, we can't use that, but I'm sure I've got a spare in my tyre box we can do this. I know it's got a flat edge around it, so what we'll do, we'll get it in the drill on an old hub and we'll flatten it down a little bit. Good glass in this. So there again, the same thing, rivets, tyres. That looks a bit different. That front one's slightly different to the back one. And that one, I think this is an odd one. That should be more this size. They look like 15s, so we'll try a 15, a Corgi 15, because they're quite thinner profile than the dinky ones, and this is quite a chunky profile on that. If you go look, get it right. Okay, I'm rambling. Pack it in. We get the tools out, get the base off. Not rocket science. Blah blah, bang, job done. Be careful, there's a mud guard here, goes up there, and you'll get your screwdriver just in there. You should be able to pop it off. There you go. And the front one, very similar. There you go. Let's have a look. Let's see. See what we got. I'm going to put my finger on that mud guard because I want to see how it goes underneath. I think, there you go, yeah, it's catching. So the mud guard piece goes like that, okay? Folds over. So you drop that down there now, get that out of the way. Was it glued in? Oh, that was, yeah. We'll sort that out in a minute. I want to have a look at is the suspension. Right, that's a steering mechanism, quite straightforward. That goes round there, and that hooks on there. Boots come out now. We'll do it on. We'll show you on the other one because this one's falling to bits. Yeah, this is broken. That arm's broken on there, so we can't use that. Back axle comes out. Like I say, just the boot drops out. Bonnet just fell out. So they just come out anyway, so that's not hard to put back in again. This is the bit what we're going to have a problem with. That's that suspension unit. What's that then? Oh, I see. That's obviously a pin to open the bonnet when you push down the suspension. Okay, yeah, we've got that. That can come out. Okay. This is your steering. Get your tyre off. Okay, how are we going to get this off here then? How do we get that off there? It doesn't pull off, does it? Looks to be like a cap on top of there. Right, okay. Right, we'll look at that in a second. The headlights are in little buckets. They look like headlight buckets. There you go, push them out. These are different to the ones what I just glued in, as you can see. Let me zoom it in a bit so you can get a better look. Use my fingers to get close range. Yeah, these are in like buckets. Yeah. So don't lose those. We'll get them out. That's your base plate with your mud guard. That's your bumper. That's your bonnet. That's your boot. That's your back axle. That's top. That's your steering mech. That's your interior part, which is broken. That's one axle. Right. Okay. Bearing that in mind, let's have a look at this. This is the other one I took apart. This is the proper steering mechanism as is, yeah. And that sits on the top there like that, and then if you can see my hand bit under my hand, it moves like that. So it's the same as a driver's school car, like that. And we should be able to lift it off. Okay, so if you remember now, take a photograph. It goes in like that. There's the pin. This is at the that way around. Bottom. That's one. That's the other. You take this off, and we can see also this is damaged. I don't know. We've got a problem here. This one is broken at the back. It's got a piece missing at the front. The engine's on the back there. That's just about fell apart there. And it's got the suspension piece, this piece, missing from there. Oh dear. That should go like that. Gluing that's not a problem. But look at that. Both the same bloody side. Look. That's a shame, isn't it? Both the same side. I was hoping that might have been the opposite side. They could glue them back on. So, we're pretty much destroyed on both of these. That back end's alright. That's okay, that's cool. We can work with that. That back end's cool. Just need to replace that. Oh, that has come up completely now, look. So we're going to have to try and do something with that. Yeah, it's facing the wrong way, isn't it? Right, okay. This might take a longer video than I thought, actually. Now, bit of flipping out, just my luck, innit? Right, I need to work out how to get this off of. Maybe I don't need to work out how to get it off the top. It just fell out, which is a bonus. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, that's that bit in it, yeah. Well, that's good then. That just falls out, just come out of there. Right, that's good. So that just goes in, just slides in. Brilliant. Got that. Glass. So now, in theory, that should turn and pop out that way. Yeah. And the oh, well, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, we're all right. Don't panic, Mr. Mandarin. It's all right. Bits are falling off all over the place here. I'm trying to make sure I get them back in the right place. Yeah, that'll be that way around. Leave that one like that for a second. This is organised chaos. Organised chaos. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. Well, that hasn't. Ah, hang on. Oh no, that, yeah, that's not important. We don't need that. What's happened is the boot bit is broken off on that one, so that's okay. We don't worry about that. That's cool. That's cool. Just need this off now, don't we? Here we go. That's it. That's it. Let's drop that out. Yeah, same with this one where the bonnet has been snapped off. Oh, there you go. Yeah, and the roof's been smashed down on this one as well. See, the roof is cracked on that one. So basically that's junk. Right. After that array of disassembled parts here in our little scrapyard of Volkswagens, we've ascertained that interior and that shell no good. You can use that. You can use the windscreen. That's scrap. We'll pick the best one of these two, which looks to be like that one. That engine, back of that chassis is broken, so that can go over there. That can go over there. So we're going to fix this. Okay, so we're fixing that. This body shell's okay. We've got the lights out of it, so that's okay. That can go there. Driving. Put the axles over there. That's a spare part, we need that. Right, boot and bonnet. Put that arm over there. There's it as a steering wheel, so that can go over there. And your left and right arm. Take the pins out. We need the pins. Okay, there's a back axle. I'll keep all those this side because I can mix and match what I want. That's your mud guards. I don't know whether that will come unstuck from there. It might not. It's trapped in between there. Pull that out. As you can tell, I've not done one of these before, so this is all new to me. You're seeing it as I see it. There you go, that's that bit. Might make a new one if I can. That's it. So we're all stripped. Now I need to go through and sort out the parts. Get these in a stripper. And see if I can do something with this. See if I can replace that somehow. I don't know how we're going to do it. Because it's got like a special bits on the end of it. I don't know. We'll have to have a look. Alright, leave with me. We'll get these stripped. I'll give you a progress report on this when I've worked out how to do it. Alright. These here I'll leave as is. Unless I think the pins can pull out of here. Where these pins, oh yeah, they do, yeah. I think you can pull these pins out. We'll see. Now it's 13 minutes, just strip the bloody thing. Yeah, the pins just pull out of there. So that's another good thing. There's a little washer there, mustn't forget that. So you can pull the pins out of the hubs. So we can get on and do that. Right, leave it with me. We'll have an update in a little while. Yep, just a quick update. I went rooting around all my bits, all my old Corgis, and I found a police one with this steering on top. I got two. One was okay and one was damaged, got the bumper snapped off at the front and headlights missing and a crack in the back of the glass. I only thought I had one, but I've got two, so it's always good to get lots, you know, when I get job lots and stuff like this, and it's always good to have the originals of spares, because in it, what's that? In good condition, look at that. Both suspensions at the back, both at the front. So that was a bonus. The rest of the car was knackered, but this was okay. So that saved me a lot of messing about and a lot of work. That's to replace that. And also, I noticed that it got a better set of mud guards at the back. Clean these up. These are more square. The other ones are a bit chewed up. So there we go. So that's worth it. It's always worth getting spares of the originals if you can get them, or donor cars or whatever. So I've had two donor cars to make one. Otherwise, if I couldn't have fixed that, I've had to try and fork out for a repo if I can get one. So at the end of the day, it's worth it. Swings and roundabouts, mate. So now, panic over. We can get all cleaned up and get the paint stripped, get the ultrasonic working, clean the windscreens, interiors, and I'm not going to put that in. I'm not going to risk this. This is going in a glass cabinet until I'm ready for it. Now here's something interesting. Both interiors, and they're both from the Safari Volkswagen 1200. Look, one's a left-hand drive and one's a right-hand drive. Now, what's all that about? Yeah. On the police one, I was just looking at the police one I took apart, and that's a left-hand drive as well. So we've got a right-hand drive and a left-hand drive. Now, I wonder what they did there at the factory. Whether they did some right-hand drive and some left-hand drive, I don't know. Interesting. Let us know in the comments what you think. Why do you think it happened? And what's your idea? What's your take on it? So there you go. One left-hand drive and one right-hand drive. That's all cleaned up now out the caustic. Went quite nice. There you go. Very nice. You got the old pair of wellies in there, bit of rope, and looks like an ice pick, or a, I don't know, it could be some sort of wheel brace. Not sure. Yeah, so they come out quite nice. Excuse me, I'm tired. Bonnet, good to go. Boot, good to go. And these metal parts, steering mechanism, and the base has come up nice. Look at that silver base. I'm not going to paint this, going to leave it as is. Bumpers, I'll straighten a little dent out in there, but I'll leave these. I might put a bit of metal polish on this bumper and around the area. The exhaust have got holes in, so that's a bonus. Might clear them out with a mini drill and put a bit of metal polish on here. Give it a spin over with the old metal polish. Right, ultrasonic cleaner's done its job. Both interiors are clean. Put it on for 20 minutes at about 38 degrees, just so it doesn't melt the plastic on the glass. That's the reason why I don't have it so hot. This has come out quite nice. It just wants a polish up, a buff up, but there's no serious marks on it. Not really, so that's cool. And I've done the other two here as well. I did all three at the same time. I'll pick the best one to work on. They're up with the other bits. They're the Volkswagen spares up there. Chassis, as I said, I didn't clean that. I'm going to put a spray a bit of lacquer on there and then put a black wash on that engine just to show it. I've got to clean these first. I've got to clean them next. I didn't put these in the ultrasonic. I was going to go over with a bit of cleaner and clean them up because they're quite fragile and I don't want to break them. Alright. Okay, they look like they had stickers or something on the back of there. I'm not sure if they did or not. Yeah, so I want cleaning up. Excuse me, bloody hell. Just got to do the hubs now. So, most important thing, get a coat of paint on him. I think I'm going to go with the Mars red. It's a nice red. Volkswagen, being a Volkswagen, we'll go Volkswagen Mars red. White undercoat. So white undercoat, Mars red on top. Then a coat of lacquer. Alrighty. Alrighty. We're at the paint shop. Here's your red. That's your Mars red over a white undercoat. Right, quite nice. Been lacquered like I always do. Now I've gone ahead and painted the wellies and the rope in here because I needed to use the magnifying light which gets in front of the camera. I've got to paint the piece of bar or whatever, that ice pick or whatever it is, I don't know. Door handles, a couple of little vent lights or whatever they are down here, and just put a bit of colour on those. I'm not going to scrape the door frame. The sticker goes on here. I thought it was a decal, but it's not. It's a sticker, so it's going to make it tricky to put on because I can't use the decal softener. Just paint that bit of the bonnet opener there. I'll do what I can, because like I say, I am struggling a bit, so I'll do what I can. Right, first of all, let's do a few bits and pieces. Let's do that handle thing first in here. Let's do this. Get that out of the way. All these little details, if you get confident enough and you want to do it, paint them, because it always makes the model look a little bit special in my opinion. Here we go. Super concentrating this time. Yeah, I went a little bit over there, didn't I? So I'll scratch that off with a toothpick. You want to get that off. Or at least fade it out. Yeah, it's coming. There you go. That's better. Don't look so bad now. Well, one way of skinning a cat. Well, that'll do for that. Let me just put a little dab on there. Because these are going to be the little lights. Right, okay. I'm going to try these now, see if I can get on with this. See if I can cock this up. Ooh, it's a bit on the big side, but hopefully it'll be alright. There you go. Try and leave them out a bit, that won't. Yeah, that'll be alright. Okay, that's those two. So let's make sure that's drying. What was next? Yeah, backlights. Yeah, I'll do the door handles last because I'll get my hands on them. Let's just do these here. That's that. Okay. I just need to get rid of that there. Get another toothpick. Always handy. One of the best tools you can get, mate, in the trade here. Toothpick. Cocktail stick. Right, that's there. Just going to do some door handles now. And then we'll let it dry. There it is. There it is. That's that dry. You notice I didn't put as much paint on the end of these because that's the hinge piece. Right, let's see what we can do with this. There's a little bit here we're going to need to do. Okay. Alrighty. And then this bit at the front here. Oh, what's going on there? So it felt a bit soft there for a minute. Yeah, it's alright though. Bastard. Got it. That's good. That's cool. Wow, that was a struggle. Okay, everything else is done, I think. Yeah, base plate is done. That's all cleaned up. Nice. Interior's done. Wheels are done. Right, let me get this dry. and then we'll get it back together again. Alright, it's that time again. It's the assembly time. Okay, I've gone ahead and done a couple of things in advance. Purely because obviously, you know, I've got problems, so I need to concentrate. Put the sticker on the bonnet. That wasn't too bad. I had to take it off once from this corner, centralise it, so it seemed to go down okay at the minute. I did that. I put the mud guards in the back. They just slot in between the bumper and the chassis there. It's no biggie. What else did I do in advance? Oh yeah, chuck the dual headlights in. They just push in with the buckets. They just push in there, and that's done. And I put the Nairobi sticker on the back window. The glass is just sitting in there nice and happy by itself. And I'm mucking about. Now, I will tell you now, I've done a dry run on this 4 times. 4 times, and I had a problem with the bonnet. It was a little bit out of shape. You couldn't really tell until you put it on, but it's better now. And I have been looking at the Google images on this Corgi model, and I've noticed that quite a few of them, with the bonnet, it sits up slightly. It's not the greatest of fits, and nor is the boot. So I made myself feel a bit better by checking, because I wasn't 100% sure, and double checking. So here we go. Right, see if I can get it right this time. It weren't so much to put it together right, it was, things weren't, oh, and I glued the pins in as well, because they kept dropping out. Every time we turned up, they dropped out, and it was a pain, so I glued them in. Right, first of all, well, I hope you can see this without my hands getting in the way. I could come away a bit further, but I think you'd miss out. Making sure you get that right. I put this in front first, put that in first, then drop that in. Okay, and then you can turn it up the right way and get this in. It's got a curve on there, so you follow the curve on there. Okay, make sure it lines up, the cross piece lines up in there like so, and then you turn it up and have that facing the front like that. Right, step 1, that's the easy bit. Then I found putting the chassis as the engine, put a bit of black wash on it, drop that in there, making sure that sits okay, which it does, and like that. So you've got those two, oh hang on a minute, there's one thing I forgot. I knew there'd be something I'll forget. Is the bonnet push-up pin. That goes in. Let's get some tweezers on, it might be easier. That goes in like so. Mustn't forget that, like I did. And push that in, making sure that these are up against the pins, which they are. That's that bit. Nearly there. Then you want this piece in next, with the piece facing the piece facing down. Get it in my hands. That fits in there. Okay, so we're all singing, all dancing there. Now you're going to need about 10 pairs of hands in a minute, so this is where it gets a bit complicated. We'll put the wheels in. I'll put the pins back in these, and the way to go, this chunky bit there sits on the inside. So put it over the pin, drop it in there. Same with this one. Drop it in there. Okay. And then you can get your steering, hang on, that's not in the hole. Come on, son. There you go. There you go. You're in the hole. Right, make sure that's all down. Now, put your boot in. You can push that in between the window and the interior, like that. Okay. Then you can hold it with your finger. The same with the bonnet. I found that an easier way of doing it. Slide up underneath there, like that, and then get your boat, get your two hands like that. It's okay. Drop your axle in like that, and then this should fit. If it's all right, it should fit in there. Okay, all down. We're okay there. Now you can't really tell if the pin is working, the bonnet pin, until you've got all the thing back together. So that's it, essentially it. Okay. You can, I think it's on this wheel, so it doesn't raise it up that much, to be honest with you. I found it easier to, because the suspension's quite weak on here. Yeah, it's raised it a bit. Look, it don't raise it much. If I put it on the floor, the body will come off. It'll all come off, but it does raise it a bit. I just get my finger or a toothpick underneath it. It's the easy way of doing it. The trouble with these things, they do get a bit worn after a while. There you go. That stays open. So the bonnet's all working. Yeah, that pin. If you look at the pin there, if you can see it, when you push it, it doesn't raise that much. Look. Let's get a bit closer. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's the pin. You push down, then you push up. You're supposed to push up on this wheel. You see, hardly it raises, but not much. Like barely at all. So that's what we got here. All right. Okay, so that's all working, and the boot does work. That's a bit on the. That does work. It comes in up and down anyway. It works. Like I say, it's all a bit worn at the minute. So now, time to get the pins in. Get the rivets in. Out of shop. What do I need to do here? I need to put these on, don't I? Oh, I don't different. Oh, there they are. Just making sure it lines up. Okay, there. There you go. Get it in shot. Oh, come back out of it now, can't I? That's it. Now these are the Matchbox Hot Wheels size rivets, because I couldn't get, there's not enough meat on the post to put everything in. So I'm just holding that for a second there. Look. Let it go off. Do the same with the back. Just putting that and make sure there's a clear way. So there you go. Well, everybody had a good bank holiday weekend the other week. I'm doing this on bank holiday actually, as it happens, but you won't see it for You're seeing this now, like 2 weeks in front. I tell you, you need good eyeballs. And mine ain't no good. Get in there, you little toe rag. There you go. That's in. One. Sometimes I find better pick up with flipping fingers. Excuse me, my hands are in the way. That's it too. Another thing when you're doing videos, you're all be conscious that you've got the camera in front of you. And you've got to remember to keep your hands out of the way. It's always a pain in the backside as well. Alright, next up, I've got to do the decals on the side. I've got them here. I should now chuck them in the water. They're just here. Number 18. And they're pre-cut. So I've got my sponge. I'll chuck them in the water. Then we can get them on. Okay. So we got the steering. We're running. I've got to take the knobbly bits off the tyres. That's what I've got to do. The knobbly bits on the tyres. I must take them off. Yeah, that I'm not overly keen on that bonnet pin, being honest with you. As you can see, interior in there, all done in there. And while waiting for the decals to soak, we'll pull up the boot. And there's the engine in there, all done. Okay. Yeah, that's the only disappointment really, as far as I'm concerned, is this bonnet release. It's not great. I'm not happy with it. But what can you do? What can you do, I'll say, Rodney, what can you do? Right, what we got here? How are we getting on? How are we getting on, John? How are we getting on? Alright, talk about myself for a second. I'm just waiting for, there you go. Just waiting for these to move. These decals, they're on the move now. Alright. Let me brush. Put a bit of water on there. Number 18. There you go, Joe. There you go. Here we go, here we go. Squeezing as much air and water out as I can. Get it to sit flat. Here we go, that's near enough, I think. That's that side. We'll quickly do the other side. And then we're done. There you go, nicely done, son. Nicely done, son. That's it. Okay, let's get it on the old magic. Right, I'm going to show. I've got the box here, as you know. So what we're going to do, we're going to put it on the magic, and then we're going to put it in the box. Or yeah, because once it's in the box, it'll probably stay in there now. So when it's on the magic, we'll have the boot open on the magic. There you go. If it stays open, that is. There you go. Going to keep macking me about there, isn't it? I tell you what, we'll break a bit of this off. When they're new, they're probably nice and tight, but she'd be a bit slack new. Right, is it going to hold up? Yeah, not. I see, bugger. I don't know if it'll stay held up with this in it. Probably not. No, ain't gonna happen, is it? Right, let me get it on the magic, and I'm going to mess about getting these bonnet and boot to stay open. This is what we started with. 2 Corgi toys, Volkswagen 1200s, and we're going to make one good one out of the both. So, have a look, see what we did, and see how it turned out. I hope you like it. Okay, here we all are, all done and dusted. Looking inside. Here you go, I've got the old prop up, just holding it up there. Yeah. Dual headlights, opening bonnet, opening engine cover, mud flaps, decals, stickers, you name it, got it in it. There's the back end. So that's what we got. That's what we've done. There you go. Steering all works. Bonnet does pop open. It only raises it slightly, and to get your fingernail or your cocktail stick and then lift it up. I imagine that will probably win the plastic suspension would be the first thing to go, because it has got plastic suspension at the front, which that thing leans up against. But it's quite fragile, and I didn't want to mess too much with it. So there we go. Okay. So hang about a minute while I put it in its box with the rhino. Okay. And there it is on its display piece. Reproduction display piece. Very nice. Yeah. Got the rhino there. That's not the original rhino. I think the original rhino was slightly darker than that, but it does fit in. And it looks quite decent to me. Yeah. Very nice. I could turn it on, I suppose. You'll probably just see the back of it as it goes round. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. Come out quite nice. Looks nice on the stand. It's a bit bright in this colour, but yeah, and on the back of the box, you've got the information, or whatever it is, in multiple languages. There you go. And we'll come round again, and we can see the front end. Yeah, look at different angles there. There you go, look. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. It's much appreciated. And look forward to your comments. And I'll see you all again. What is it? 1, 2. Yeah. With another restoration next week. Alrighty then. Thanks very much. Enjoy what you're doing. Be happy. Okay. Bye for now.